Good morning. I'm Ed McNeal, Marketing and Communications Director with the City of Winston-Salem, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the Benton as we gather to celebrate the graduation of Winston-Salem Fire Academy's 30th class. Please rise for our procession led by bagpiper David Thornburg and Class 30, and remain standing as the Fire Department's Honor Guard presents our national colors. This will be followed by the singing of the national anthem by Winston-Salem Police Corporal Fleurette Gregory-Phillips. We ask that you place your right hand over your heart at the order to present arms, and that you remove it only at the command to order arms. Please rise.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order! Ho!
Thank you. Please be seated. Winston-Salem Fire Department Chaplain, Father Constantine Millard Shepherd, will bring our invocation this morning. Chaplain.
Let us pray to the Lord. Heavenly King, Comforter of the Spirit of truth, present in all places and filling all things, we ask you for many blessings this day. We ask your blessings for all those gathered here to celebrate this special occasion, honoring the accomplishments of these men and women beginning their careers as firefighters for Winston-Salem. We ask for blessings for all our civic leaders, for all our first responders, and for all those in public service. We ask for the blessings for all those who will lead and mentor these men and women. We ask you to bless those who support our firefighters, their parents, their children, their spouses, partners, friends, and relatives, who also are taking the role of being family to those that serve. We especially ask you to bless this graduating class and the entire family of the Winston-Salem Fire Department. Keep them safe, honorable, and healthy as they serve the Winston-Salem community. And we ask all this in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Mayor Alan Joins is traveling today and was not able to join us in person, but made a recording, and we'll hear that in a moment. But to represent our council this morning is our Mayor Pro Tem, who serves as the council member of the North Ward. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Pro Tem Dee Dee Adams.
Good morning. Good morning. Also, just so you know, you're sitting in the North Ward right now. On behalf of Mayor Alan Joins and the 250,000 plus citizens of Winston-Salem, I want to welcome everyone today to the graduation ceremonies of Fire Recruit Class 30. Especially, I want to welcome all the family members and friends who are here this morning to see their loved one start a new page in their lives. And most of all, I want to welcome to our City of Winston-Salem family the 15 young men and women who are graduating today. All of us in this room have nothing but admiration for what you have accomplished in the past 28 weeks. I bet it seemed forever, didn't it? And for what you are about to do. Some of you are coming to us having previously served with volunteer fire departments, and some of you are quite new to the profession. But all of you are choosing a career of public service. Trust me, I know. You are choosing to dedicate your lives to helping others in their time of need. This is a noble act. And we are thankful for that. We are thankful that there are people like you who are stepping up to provide this vital service to our community. In the coming weeks and years, you will experience the unique camaraderie that comes with living and working together 24 hours at a time. You will experience the unpredictable variety that comes when you work in a profession where no 2 days are the same. Again, trust me, I know. You will save lives and you will usher new lives into the new world, and tragically, you will see others leave the world. It's a tough job, but it's a rewarding job. Just about every firefighter I know tells me that they cannot imagine doing anything else. And I hope that this will be the same case for all of you. So once again, thank you for stepping up, and welcome aboard and welcome to the house.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Now we'll hear from Mayor Alan Joins.
Good morning. This is Mayor Alan Joins, and I'm so sorry that I can't be with Class 30 this morning as you celebrate your graduation from fire rookie school period. To my colleagues from the City Council, the City Manager, and Chief Mayo, give you greetings as well. It's my honor to thank the members of Class 30 for your commitment to public service. You know, one of the main functions of city government is to provide public safety to our citizens, and certainly you're stepping up to do that. Fire service is a very noble profession, dating all the way back to the Roman Empire. Certainly we recognize that it is a dangerous profession, and so your bravery and willingness to put your life on the line for the citizens of Winston-Salem is so appreciated. To the families of Class 30, I congratulate you as well, because I know your support has been very needed during the training period, rigorous physical training and rigorous academic training as they went through a lot of classroom learning with particularly the EMT. So once again, congratulations to you. Thank you for your service, and on behalf of all 250,000 citizens of Winston-Salem, we're grateful to have you as part of the Winston-Salem Fire Department. Thank you and good morning.
The City Council's Public Safety Committee is made up of 4 members providing resources for police, fire, and emergency management. They are led by a council member of the Southeast Ward, who is a 2003 graduate of the Criminal Justice Program at North Carolina Central University. Please welcome Public Safety Chairman James Taylor, Jr.
Good morning. I have the honor and privilege of bringing greetings on behalf of the Public Safety Committee for the City of Winston-Salem. I just want to take a quick moment before I say any words and acknowledge a few people who are here with us today. We have Councilmember Barbara Burke, who's a member of the Public Safety Committee. We also have Councilmember Jeff McIntosh. And always, we give honor to Chief Mayo, Assistant Chief Sawyer, all the Assistant Chiefs and command staff for the Winston-Salem Fire Department. And we can't forget the brave men and women of the Fire Department. I just want to take a moment and thank Recruit Class 30 for both hearing and answering the call to service. I know there have been some long days and long nights, but you've made it here today. To the friends and family, thank you for sharing them with us, for helping them to hear the call to service, and there will be many more calls that they will hear. But I got to tell you, Recruit Class 30, and I know those who are in attendance will agree with me, you are joining the greatest fire department in the United States of America. And family and friends, please join me in giving them a round of applause. Thank you. On behalf of the committee and the council, we thank each and every one of you for what you've done and what you will continue to do to help our city to be a better place to live, work, and relax. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Taylor. Trey Mayo began his service to the residents of Winston-Salem 7 years ago. In the monthly public safety news conference briefings, he often reminds the media to share with the public that house fires can be prevented and that protecting lives and property is really a partnership between the residents, businesses, and the fire department. He is a 33-year veteran of the fire services. Please welcome our fire chief, Trey Mayo.
Thank you, Mr. McNeal. Good morning, everybody. Thanks to Mayor Pro Tem Adams for being here, Chairman Taylor, Council Members McIntosh and Burke. Good to see everybody. City Manager Lee Garrity, and also Assistant City Manager Patrice Tonya, who's responsible for fire, police, and emergency management, is with us this morning. Thank you all. Thanks to Miss Tabitha Childress, who is bumping around here somewhere. There she is back there. Thank you, Tabitha, for everything you've done to see that this program comes off this morning, and certainly we could not have done that without the support of Mr. McNeal and his staff in the Marketing and Communications Department. We've got a few fire chiefs in the audience this morning. I'd like to recognize Chief Chris Langham is here from the Hornytown Fire Department, Chief Brian Boo from Walnut Cove, and Chief Dale Couch from Forbush. Thank you all for being here. So, here we are. the day we've all been waiting for. 7 months of blood, sweat, and tears literally come together right here this morning. I just want to say congratulations for making it. It's important that I remind you all that, regardless of how good our training programs are, and in light of the fact that we exceed state requirements in a number of training areas, particularly those critical areas of instruction related to firefighter safety and survival, most of your training will begin Monday morning when you go on shift. For the rest of your career, there are 3 areas that you will need to continually focus on, and that is building construction, fire behavior, and physical fitness. Lack of acuity in those 3 areas kills 2/3 of the firefighters who die in America in a non-COVID year. Right now, COVID's killing more firefighters than anything else, but in a non-COVID year, the lack of acuity in building construction, fire behavior, and physical fitness are responsible for 2/3 of America's firefighter deaths. Firefighters who die on the fire ground are almost always the victims of either not understanding what the smoke in the building were telling them, or they were victims of a poor diet and lack of exercise. Don't fail your crew, your families, or yourselves because you lost focus on those 3 subject areas. And never forget how lack of attention to detail and an empty salt shaker can kill firefighters. Now, it's my honor to introduce our speaker this morning. Tonya Hoover is the senior career federal fire official in the United States. The daughter of a fire chief, she grew up in the volunteer fire service in Pennsylvania. She spent her early years in the career fire service in Contra Costa County, California, and at the University of California, Berkeley. In 2007, she was appointed California's Assistant State Fire Marshal by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger before being tapped by Jerry Brown to be the state's fire marshal in 2009. Chief Hoover's time as state fire marshal was marked by a number of notable events, including working with the National Fire Protection Association and the National Fire Research Foundation to revise the National Fire Protection Association standard for the installation of sprinkler systems. The station fire in LA County that burned 161,000 acres, which is an area approximately twice the size of Winston-Salem. Adoption of a state law requiring non-removable batteries and smoke and carbon monoxide alarms, and adoption of, I would say, you would probably claim this as your crowning achievement, particularly in the role of fire marshal, was adoption of statewide residential fire sprinklers in California. Chief Hoover was the 2014 recipient of the Fire and Life Safety Award presented jointly by the International Code Council and the International Association of Fire Chiefs Fire and Life Safety Section. In 2017, she was selected as the 8th superintendent of the National Fire Academy. After less than 3 years in that role, she was named Deputy U.S. Fire Administrator in January 2020. In this role, she's responsible for the day-to-day operation of the United States Fire Administration, including the National Fire Academy's delivery of annual training to over 100,000 emergency responders, oversight of the National Fire Incident Reporting System, which analyzes and documents 27 million annual fire department responses in the United States, coordination of the United States Fire Administration's prevention, information, and public education programs, and operation of the National Emergency Training Center. I'll tell you something else. Too. She manages her time wisely, because 5 hours ago she was in Baltimore, and I told her when she got here that I would have bet against her. She has way more faith in the airlines than I do, but she was actually here with time to spare. We're privileged this morning to have someone whose schedule obviously has little time to spare. Please join me in welcoming Deputy United States Fire Administrator Chief Tonya Hoover.
Good morning. Good morning. Before I get started, I do want to thank my shuttle service We stopped for coffee, Chief, with time to spare. It is such an honor to be here with you all this morning. First off, happy holidays to everyone. You guys can't fool me, because I know you're smiling behind those masks, because I know what today is. But really, I bring greetings and congratulations from the United States Fire Administrator, Dr. Lori Moore Merrill, and the entire USFA staff. And as a parent who recently had an opportunity to watch my public safety child graduate from her academy not too far from here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, I know what it feels like, parents sitting there in the audience and just beaming with such pride. Congratulations. This is a really big day, huge day. It's the start of an amazing adventure, your career. Before you even place one foot in front of the other on this wonderful path that you're about to take, you need to do one thing first. Before you put your uniform on for that first shift, actually, before you walk out this door this morning, I need you to do one thing. I need you to say thank you to each and every family member and friend that made it possible for you to be successful here today. These individuals walked this journey with you, supported you, kept things in check while you completed the academy, long days, long nights. No one does it alone, and I never want you to forget that. Thank you to the entire support team for these 15 individuals. A few thoughts as you enter this next phase of what can be, well, it actually is, an incredible opportunity. Or as I have thought so many times, what to do with this gift, this career. Today's the past. Learn from it. Take those lessons from the past and move forward. Forward means the future. Look to the future. It will be here before you know it, and you can't get back I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that. There are learning opportunities. The chief mentioned it earlier. 3 things to remember, right? You remember those 3 things? Okay, just checking. Everybody's paying attention, chief. Okay. There are learning opportunities everywhere. Use them. Don't wait for somebody to tell you about them. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. I guarantee you, you will never know it all. And our environment and situations change constantly. Sometimes before we even know it. Our focus has changed. As we looked at things like climate change and how that impacts the fire service, our workforce changes and how we represent our communities in diversity, equity, and inclusion, and all of these items are strengths. They are our superpower. Speaking of superpowers, all of those learning opportunities through the changing environment is knowledge. Don't be afraid to share the knowledge. Don't be afraid to be knowledge exchange. Knowledge works both ways. People give and we take. We also give and they take. You are part of a team, and that superpower helps your team be and stay safe. Helps your department to address all types of incidents that you and they will face. Every day's a different day. And helps your community stay strong and resilient. for any type of emergency or disaster. Chief mentioned this one. Pay attention. Pay attention. So I mentioned I had a chance to be a proud parent sitting in the audience of a recent graduate from the Fayetteville Police Department Academy. I know she fell and hit her head. But the day she went off with her FTO on night shift, which I didn't sleep for 3 weeks. Sleep is highly overrated. If you ask her today, what's the one thing Mom said to you? Mom said, head on a swivel. Head on a swivel. Situational awareness. Pay attention. You have to pay attention to the little items as well as the big ones. Little items turn into big items quickly, if not addressed. Pay attention to the little items so they don't become the big items. That applies across the board, from being ready to do the job at the beginning of your shift, throughout the day. You impact your brothers and sisters, not just on your shift, but the coming on shift, the shift after that, and after that, and after that. To our own personal wellness, pay attention to the little things. Little things count, just like the big things. Little things collect into big things. Sometimes we make mistakes. Last time I checked, we're human. And that's what we as humans do. The key is what we learn from those mistakes and how we approach the mistake. What do we do after we make the mistake? Do we address all the little things that added up to the mistake? Do we own it? Do we share our insight or that mistake so it doesn't happen again? We make mistakes. We're human. I believe it's what we do with the mistake after we commit it that helps determine our success. This profession can be hard. I think that was mentioned earlier. This profession can be hard. Life's hard. So I'm a big Rocky Balboa fan. Some of you may not know who Rocky Balboa is. Sylvester Stallone, he's old enough to be your great uncle. We'll keep it at that. But one of my favorite scenes from the last movie, Rocky Balboa, well, not Creed, the one before that one. The Rocky Balboa is this whole scene where he's having this conversation with his son, because his son is like, oh, life is so hard. So Rocky goes into this passionate discussion with his son. And he says, the world ain't no sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, not me, or nobody can hit as hard as life. It's not about how hard you hit, but how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. You got to be willing to take the hits and not point the finger saying that you ain't where you are because of him, because of her, because of somebody. You have to believe in yourself and believe in those around you. Use the lessons learned from the past, the mistakes that we have all made, and the lessons, again, we've learned. Don't look to blame somebody. Be part of moving forward. We build our inner resilience. And we ask for help. We ask for help. There will be those moments that will stretch you to your near limit. Don't go it alone. There is no shame or weakness in asking for help. It's the duty of your supervisor to help you get what you need. We, the fire service, work at getting our folks prepared physically. The chief talked about that. We have to be physically fit. You never know what the day will bring. Could be a cat in a tree. No kidding, some people still do that. Cat in a tree. It could be something a lot worse. We prepare physically, and we work at keeping physically fit. You thought you were smoked when you were in the academy? Every day, physically fit. But it's our responsibility to work with those professionals and our teams to ensure that not only are our bodies fit, but our mind and our souls are cared for. For some of you, a hobby became your passion and now has become your career. That is a gift. When every day you can look in the mirror and go, yeah, today's a good day. I get to do this. I'm one of how many that get this privilege to serve Winston-Salem, to serve my community, and be part of an awesome department. It's a gift. It is a gift. A little story, gifts. Over 40 years ago, there was this young junior member firefighter from a very small town, a volunteer fire department. Some of you were volunteers. I think that's where community comes in. Volunteer fire department that had an opportunity to learn and grow. The individual took a hobby that was a family commitment, learned about the commitment to, and worked with the community with people that believed that even on those days when this person was not the smartest, or in some cases described as failing, there developed a passion for the work. That passion turned into a chance to go to college and a move across country and to be able to do some pretty amazing things. Engage in a state that has the 6th largest economy in the world, become a chief officer, become a state fire marshal in California, transition 2 administrations, both a Republican and a Democrat, have an opportunity to serve as the superintendent of the National Fire Academy, be the U.S. Deputy Fire Administrator, even had a chance to serve as the acting United States Fire Administrator. Holy Toledo. My hobby, that was and still is a passion, became an amazing career. An amazing career. I've learned so many things along the way and continue to, especially from folks like you, all of you, every department in this room. This profession can take you places if you are willing to go there. If you're willing to experience, face your fears, and say yes to the opportunities. Don't be afraid to make the mistakes along the way. Remember, what do we do with the mistake after we make it? And it builds on our experiences. And remember, it's what you do with those lessons that you learn. You keep getting up, you value the gift, and you always be and stay safe. Congratulations, and thank you all.
Thanks so much. Each of these graduates successfully completed more than 1,200 hours of training and testing to wear the badge. Today, they are prepared to take on the task of saving lives and property every day as they serve the citizens of Winston-Salem. Recruiting Coordinator Ryan Cooke will join us to share an overview of what it takes to become a Winston-Salem firefighter.
Good morning. Congratulations. The Recruit Academy is 29 weeks. but the journey started over a year ago. So really last November is when this journey started. Through the application process, to written exams, to accepting the invitation to the agility test, to accepting the invitation to the interview. The start of recruit school was May 17th, 2021. The first 3 weeks, 120 hours of orientation, just to get acquainted with the city and the fire department. Then we started 7 weeks of emergency medical technician. These individuals in 7 weeks went through a program that most community colleges design for 6 months to a year. EMT was 240 hours, consisted of 11 class exams, a cumulative class final, a state exam, and a technical scope of practice exam. We moved on to the fire, vehicle driving, hazmat, and rescue portion. This is 12 weeks, 480 hours, 16 exams. Then 6 weeks of technical rescue training, 240 hours. This consisted of 2 100-question exams. And if you can believe it, the 29th week started on Monday. And we gave you that 1 week to allow your respiratory and your heart rate to return to a normal rate. We did that, but station orientation, scene management, financial planning, picking up your station uniforms, and we even had a great class on the history of the Winston-Salem Fire Department. This past week was 40 hours of training. Total instruction hours, we're right at 1,200 hours. This is including 300 hands-on skill exams. We haven't talked about the physical training. Before they started with EMT, fire, and technical rescue 3 times a week, 6 a.m., we were at physical training, or PT. You have to see it to understand it. Your idea of PT is probably really different than what they experienced. But it's very valuable. 3 days a week at 6 a.m. I remember the rain. I remember the high humidity. And as we got closer to the end, I remember the freezing cold. I can measure those things and give you weeks, days, and hours. What I cannot measure is the time studying late at night, early in the morning to strengthen your mind. What cannot be measured is the extra time you spent exercising to strengthen yourself physically. What cannot be measured is the sacrifice not only you, but all these people endured, those of you supported you to get you to this day. Remember, this career and this life is not just about you. It's about your brother and sister firefighters, those you serve, friends and family. Remember the hard work, effort, perseverance you displayed to be sitting here today, and do not lose that intensity. Remember your purpose, or your why. Why do you keep going when faced with difficult circumstances? When you get knocked down, why do you get back up? Remember to be early, because on time is late. Seize opportunities, have no regrets. There should be no should've, could've, would've excuses. From the singer, this famous line, and they know what I'm getting ready to say. From the famous singer Bruno Mars. You need to show up, show out, and Twitty, I gotta let you speak. Tonya, I gotta let you say this. Smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy. Show up, show out. Be smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy. Go and serve now with excellence. But give us all just a little bit more. The class flag that you see here is also called the Guidon. The Guidon served as a rallying point for the class to fall into formation when the order was given. The Guidon is always out front of the formation and is a great source of pride. The Guidon was not simply just handed to them. They had to earn it with a motivational run. But most importantly, we had to keep demonstrating teamwork, perseverance, and commitment throughout this whole 29 weeks to keep that flag. The Guidon was present at all physical training. Our Guidon bearer, he had to run with it on our 3-mile runs, lap runs, whatever we did. He ran with it. It was present outside of every classroom, if it was in Winston-Salem or the other locations. And it was on every drill ground site. It never left the Guidon bearer's sight, nor did the class. The Guidon bearer will never let the Guidon fall, nor be disrespected.
Recruit Coordinator Cooke, please retire the Guidon.
Retire the Guidon.
Thank you, Cooke. We'll now begin with our special awards. City Manager Lee Garrity, Assistant Fire Chief of Safety Training and Special Operations Frank Stowe, and Chief Trey Mayo will present awards for Class 30. The awards are the Vivian H. Burke Character Award, the Outstanding Teammate Award, and the Fire Chief's Award. We'll begin with City Manager Lee Garrity and the Character Award.
Good morning, everyone. These are the events that I really have a privilege to attend. The service, the family dedication, joining the Winston-Salem team. It is very special to me, and I'm very grateful for your endeavors and your commitment to this community. I'm always just amazed at how the police department, the fire department, and others, utilities, when we have a water break, when there's a call, you all go. Often at night, our command wakes up city council and myself just to let us know what's going on. That's easy for us, isn't it? All we do is get woken up. You all are actually the ones that are out there, so I really appreciate what you do for us and all of our citizens. I want to thank Mayor Pro Tem, Chairman Taylor, the council members McIntosh and Councilmember Burke for their strong commitment to public safety. They never blink an eye at what we request. They know and they value each and all of you for what you do for all of us. I did want to recognize our district attorney. He came in the back, Jim McNeal. Welcome. He's a strong supporter of public safety. Public safety is a family, it is such a family grouping. There's so many people I see who follow in the footsteps. I was just told yesterday that we have several of our firefighters whose fathers were police officers. I know we've got some today that we're going to recognize who are following in their parents' steps. My daughter is an assistant district attorney who works for Mr. O'Neill. I have a son-in-law who works in the police department. Those values that you learn of public service, that you learn and that you will instill in your children, are so important to the future of us. None of us are in this business to be super rich. We're in this business to make a difference in the quality of life of all the people around us. And again, I want to thank you for that. Each graduation class, I have the honor of presenting the Vivian H. Burke Character Award. Vivian H. Burke, which I had the pleasure to work for many years and learn from, she served as chair of the Public Safety Committee for 36 years. She served on city council for over 40 years. Long, deep, strong commitment to public safety and to this community. Those of you who knew Vivian H. Burke before her passing would know that the things that were important to her: character, respect, dignity. Sometimes I would be just amazed at the formality, even with her son, Chief Superior Court Judge Burke, the formality they would have in public because of the respect and dignity that is so important to her character. Several years ago, we named this award after her based on her character. And if you think about character, you know, what really is it? Character is the things that you do, the respect, the actions you take, that you don't take so that somebody can compliment you on it or praise you on it. You do it without caring if anybody knows. You do it because it's in you. You care about that citizen. You care about that person who's got a flat tire on the road, and you're going to help them. You're off duty, but you're still going to help them because you care about that, and you care about your community and how you represent this community. So I'm very honored this year to give this award to somebody who I actually know their father very, very well. Had the privilege to work with him for a long time in the fire department, and who now has served some other fire departments, but has dedicated his career to public service and fire. This year, the Vivian H. Burke Character Award for Recruit Class 30 goes to Dylan Langham.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, family and friends. Congratulations to Class 30, or as they would say, Big 30. You made it through all the cold, warm, as Engineer Cooke said, PT mornings, followed by all-day classes. And you know, I would walk into the classroom sometimes, and they would be standing on the wall because they couldn't sit in their seats because they were sleepy. So they'd just be standing on the wall learning, but they were still learning. And oh yeah, the test. Many, many tests. And again, I say congratulations to you. Dr. Vivian Burke, may she rest in peace, was a fighter for equality and diversity. She'll be truly proud of the Winston-Salem Fire Department today. Not to take anything away from the men, it's obvious that the class has a notable female presence. I'd like to just give that a round of applause. Dr. Burke would also be proud of our guest speaker and her position in the United States Fire Administration. Let's give her a round of applause. So, the Outstanding Teammate Award is presented to a recruit who best represents the spirit and attitude of an outstanding teammate. This individual is selected by the class by votes. Some characteristics of an outstanding teammate: they develop relationships. They lead by example. They always come prepared. Most important to a firefighter, because you don't want a firefighter showing up at your house or at your emergency without a truck, some gear, a medical bag, or something. So they should always be prepared. They do extra work. They always give 100% effort. They hold themselves and others accountable. They understand their strengths and their weaknesses. They work hard to improve. With that being said, this is about continuous improvement, not only to this individual, but it's about continuous improvement to all of you. Every day, your training doesn't stop because you go into the station on Monday, some of you, but it's continuous improvement. The recipient of the Outstanding Teammate Award from Class 30 is Darius Twitty. As I go to my seat, I say this to you. As you start your tour, I will end my tour this month. 34 years seems like a long time, but it happens quickly. Prayerfully, your career will be as much fun, and trust me, anyone that has known me or know me, they know that I've had fun. You can ask Chief Mayo, I have fun. I'm almost I would call myself the joker in the administration sometimes, because he'll tell you that if they come into a meeting with a sour face, the first thing I'm going to say to them is, we have lemons for breakfast this morning. I'm going to miss this fire service. I'm going to miss what I do. I'm not retiring because of any kind of dislike or anything, but it's just time. I say to you, I pray that your career will be as successful as mine has been, and God bless you.
This is Chief Stowe's last recruit academy. He's retiring at the end of this month after 34 years of service to the city of Winston-Salem, so congratulations to him. The Chief's Award is presented to the class valedictorian, and attaining such a high academic standing is no small feat. And some of this has been alluded to earlier, but in the setting of a 40-hour-a-week fire academy, there truly is no rest for the weary. You just can't get away from it. The early mornings, the late nights, your physical training before dawn. You're in class all day. You're studying at night and on the weekends, and trying to work in some time for eating, sleeping, and family. If you aren't preparing for an EMT exam, you're practicing tying knots in the dark or rehearsing the steps to share your breathing air with an incapacitated crewmate in the dark. It's one skill after another that has to be mastered to the point of unconscious competence under conditions more stressful than most can imagine. Over the 1,200 hours of instruction, this class had an average score in EMT of 93 and an average score in fire of 91. And I think that's a testament both to the quality of the people that we hire and the level of instruction that they receive during their training. So congratulations to the recipient of the Chief's Award for Recruit Class 30, Elizabeth Munson.
Now's the time in the ceremony where we hear from the class spokesperson about the experience of becoming a Winston-Salem firefighter. Please welcome spokesperson from Class 30, Corinne Perry.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of all of Recruit Class 30, I would first like to extend a very heartfelt thank you to everyone who made this moment possible for us. Thank you to all our representatives of city government, Chief Mayo, and the countless training staff of chiefs, captains, engineers, and firefighters that poured heavily into our training, guiding us, investing in us, their time, their own personal time, to make sure that we succeeded throughout this recruit school. So thank you. Last but certainly not least, I want to personally thank my family and my friends for supporting me from day one in this journey. And I also want to personally thank the family and friends of each and every member of my class here. Because like what was mentioned earlier, we know that this journey wasn't easy on all of you either. But through your continued support and your sacrifice, we are where we are today. So truly, thank you. Recruit Class 30, AKA Big 30. It's been a long ride, y'all, but we made it. And here we are today. You know, as Engineer Cooke mentioned earlier, he would always say to us three things: show up, show out, and be smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy. Well, I want to mention to everyone in the audience that's present today, over the past 7 months, every day, each and every one of us, we showed up. Through hard work, grit, determination, and effort, we showed out. And now, I couldn't be more proud, standing here looking at all of you, sitting here in front of me, looking smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy. In all seriousness, guys, despite some of the challenges that we've had amongst each other, it's truly been an honor and a privilege to have served as your class president and been a part of undertaking this path of growth with all of you during our journey. Before I talk a little bit about our experience as a whole together, I would first like to read a quote from an online author that I feel is relevant to our experience as a class. The quote reads, "God never said that the journey would be easy, but he did say that the arrival would be worthwhile." No truer words ring close in describing our journey together. 7 months ago, we all came together from different cultures, backgrounds, ages, and walks of life to embark on a journey to become firefighters. A journey that we knew wouldn't be easy. While some of us had previous fire experience, there were others of us who had none, or even drove anything bigger than a small vehicle. We had some that were teachers, we had some that were fresh out of high school, and yet we still had others who never really worked closely with people of different cultures, closely together. But despite all of our differences, we, overall as a class, we embraced our diversity, and we came together with one common goal: to serve our community, to be a part of a brother and sisterhood, and to accomplish what we set out to become. Again, I couldn't be more proud of what we've accomplished together over the course of the 29 weeks. From our very first class day at Beatty, when we all gathered around in the parking lot, get to know one another, all the way up to our very first motivational run, where we got a true taste of what we were really in for. Just the way that we came together at both of those events made me sense that we were going to make it. Over the next course of weeks and months, We were tested physically, mentally, emotionally. The early morning PT sessions, the daily studies, the weekly exams, and the fire training evolutions in which we were put into situations that continually tested our mental and physical fortitude to keep going. I know some days it felt like we were pushed to our limits. But through the challenges, through the soreness, the blood, the sweat, and sometimes even tears, our strength and our endurance was built. We became better, we became stronger, and I watched as many of you, myself included, work to overcome fears, challenges, and personal struggles. Fears such as getting through small spaces, Twitty, or working at heights, Topeat. And even more physical challenges such as hose lifting a trapped firefighter from another floor, or busting through walls and searching smoke-filled environments to save a downed victim. But through teamwork, determination, and effort, we got it done. And of course, there's no forgetting, and I mean no forgetting the many instructional moments of punishment that included burpees, planks, flutter kicks, and other things that we really didn't enjoy or truly appreciate in the moment. However, enduring it eventually taught us the value behind it, such as the importance of attention to detail, teamwork, being accountable for one another, and never leaving anyone behind. You know, guys, overall, seeing the growths and the bonds that have formed amongst all of you, the joking and the laughing, despite some of the challenges that we face together, it makes me realize that there'll never be another class 30, nor another class that I would have wanted to experience this with. So in closing, as we get ready to transition into our station assignments, remember what it took for all of us to get here. Never stop learning, lead by example, and be the example for the future ones after us, all the while honoring those who came before us. Big 30, stay smooth. Thank you. At this time, we would like to present Chief Mayo with our class plaque.
It is customary that we call the name of each graduate and have the graduate come forward to be congratulated by the individual seated here on stage, and then join the person they chose to share in the pinning of their badge onto their uniform for the first time at our photo wall. If you were selected to do the pinning, please move to the right-hand side of the room next to the photo wall and wait for your graduate to come down. Then join them at the photo wall. That's where you'll pin the badge on, and we'll have photographers over there that will help us capture the moment, okay? We ask that you hold your applause until after everyone has received their badges. Now please welcome Chief Trey Mayo and Interim Assistant Chief of Logistics Daryl Sawyer for our badge and certificate presentation. Chief?
Thank you again. I normally could tell you at this point not to get in a big hurry because I've got about 3 pages of things I like to tell you about St. Florian, but Ed has made so much fun of me over the years, I've cut it back. So I hate that you can't enjoy that this morning. Class 30, as you receive your badges today, it's important to understand its history and significance. Badges evolved from a coat of arms worn by knights during the Middle Ages. Dressed in suits of armor, they couldn't identify one another, so knights displayed a coat of arms on their shield as a way to tell friend from foe. And because most knights carry their shield in their left hands, we wear our shield, our badge, on our left chest. In the center of your badge is a cross with 8 points, and that cross is frequently yet incorrectly identified as a Maltese cross. It is not a Maltese cross. It is St. Florian's cross. Florian von Sedum was a Roman army officer in the late 3rd and early 4th centuries, and Florian became supreme commander of the Roman firefighters known as Vigils, and in his prime, he commanded a firefighting force of 16,000 during the height of the Roman Empire. When the Emperor Diocletian came to power, in an effort to rid the empire of Christians, he ordered Florian's execution in the year 304. And today, Florian was martyred on May 4th, in the year 304, which is why today, May 4th, is known as International Firefighters Day. St. Florian then became known as the patron saint of firefighters. So St. Florian's cross has 8 points. Each represents a knightly quality in which you are expected to commit henceforth. Those qualities are discretion, loyalty, mental dexterity, attentiveness, compassion, thoroughness, gallantry, and perseverance. And if you let those qualities guide your intent, you will never disgrace your badge.
Corbin Collins. Daniel Ferguson. Felix Goolsby. Megan Harrington. Brian Jamerson. Dylan Langham. Channing Lynch. Hannah Miller. Elizabeth Munson. Corinne Perry. Austin Rose. George Topete. Darius Twitty. Reginald Wiley. Brandon Williams. Firefighters. Oh, I tell you what, this seems like a good time to applaud, doesn't it? Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. Big 30. Firefighters, you are held to high standards and given the challenging task of watching over our city around the clock. We all wish you success and long careers in the Winston-Salem family. Once again, congratulations and God bless. To our audience, please remain seated until our graduates and speakers have exited the room. Then you can join us out in the hallway behind you for the reception. You're also welcome to come back and take photos next to our photo wall over here. That will conclude our program. We hope you have a great day.